So what I have here is a layer with all 6 design terms listed on the one layer. And I just want to go through and make sure we're all clear on how we should go through and explore different possibilities for getting each word's form or design to express what the word means. So for example, the get emphasis to sort of be put together in a design that suggests the idea of emphasis. So for example, if I take this emphasis layer, right now everything is on one layer, and I go to cut, I'm going to break it into a second layer and put emphasis on its own layer. Go to the move tool up top and then go back to the T and then click so the cursor is flashing, and then go to edit, paste. Now emphasis is on its own layer. So I'm just going to go through and do one example for each of these words, each of these terms. So for example, for emphasis, we don't have to get crazy and do something like incredibly off the wall. Sometimes the most simple adjustments really are what end up pushing the point in a sophisticated way. You don't want to overpound the nail. Try to be subtle with these little designs. So, with emphasis, I'm going to explore the idea of just taking point size, highlighting the T up top for point size, and then holding down my up arrow on the keyboard. So I'm playing up the size of the P, H, and A. So that's one concept for emphasis. And then maybe, let me just go a little bit further with this. I could take that middle part and change the value of it. And maybe give it a monochromatic tinge, like gray and red. So there's one concept for emphasis. So I'm just going to leave that down there. Then the idea of contrast. I'm going to take contrast, I'm going to cut it away from the group, go to the move tool, then go back to the T for type, click, so the cursor is flashing, and there's my contrast on its own layer. And as you can see, each time I do that, the layer itself becomes named the term. So let's see, contrast. Let's see what I can do here, contrast. So maybe what I'll do in this case, contrast. I'm not going to try to do something overly crazy. I'm just going to take the TRAST and knock it off the baseline. So over here on this character tool, we have the little A with the large case A, then a little a with an arrow below it, suggesting the baseline. So I'm going to bring that down like that. So contrast. Now let's see, maybe to give this a little bit more visual interest, I'll take the CON and maybe give it a little bit of a red tinge. Then, let's see, maybe play with the idea of the C. If I take the CON and then I go to cut, I can do the same thing and put the front part on its own layer. So click, paste. Okay, that changes point size, so I've got to bring that back up. So I could play with like the idea of overlapping, or maybe rearranging the TRAST, something like that. So kind of playing with the idea of depth. So there's an idea for contrast. All right, then the idea of flow. We don't have to get too crazy with flow. I'm just going to take flow and put it on a path of some sort. So let's see, cut, go to the move tool, go to the T, and then paste. So I'm going to take flow and actually place it on a custom shape tool, path, custom shape. Let's see, maybe, let's see what we have that's sort of visually interesting. the idea of, let's see. Well, let's keep it simple for now. I'll put it on this arrow. So I'm going to pull out the path of an arrow, and then I'm going to take the flow, bring it down in point size a little bit so it's not too large, and then go to copy. Actually, in this case, I'll go to cut, and then I'll go make sure I have the T for type activated, and there's my little crossbar. So I'm going to put flow right on the path. So copy, paste. So I'm going to go to Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V, and just flow all the way around that path. Now let me zoom in so we can see what we're doing here. Go back to that crossbar. Oh, we sort of lost that. Let's see if I can do it again. Let's see, so we have the T for type. Oh, we just got to click where we left off on that last W and go all the way around. So that's one idea for flow. Let me zoom back out, hold down the Alt key. So there's a flow flowing around. Then the idea of bounce. Let's see how simple we can keep this. I know a few of you are trying to like make bounce look like a bounce beam or something. You don't want to get too literal. Try to be subtle. Think out of the box. I like to think of these as like little logo type designs, little consolidated pictographs. So the idea of bounce, let's see what I can do here. I'm just going to take the B and the A, break it off, go to the move tool, go back to the T so I can separate onto its own layer, and then put the B like that, maybe flip it like this. So sort of play with the idea of this being bounced off the A and CE, and then maybe, just to give it a little bit more visual interest, take that and let's see, give that a little bit of a different tonal quality. I'll play with the theme of the pink. So maybe something like that. So we've got contrast, we've got bounce. I'll go to apply, or maybe I could put this towards the middle, or rearrange. Well, no, we got to have sequence. Like that, and maybe I'm going to change the scale, bring that down in scale a little bit, so it's kind of like, yeah, I like that, the way the A and CE fits right under that L. That's kind of cool. So there's my bounce design. Now alignment, let's see what we can do with alignment. There's so many possibilities for alignment. So I'm going to cut that and go back to the T, go to paste, alignment. Let's see, I'm going to pull this out a little bit. I think what I'm going to do in this case is take the A align, cut that right off, and then put that on its own layer once again. So I'm doing a lot of that. A lot of my examples, I'm breaking the words into two units and playing one half against the other. So alignment, one thing aligning against another. Well, I've got an idea. Keep my whole theme pretty consistent. I'm going to go ment and take a line, rotate that, hold down the shift key, like that, and put the line right in here, sort of nested in with the M. Now if I wanted to really get clever, I could take the alignment, go a little bit bigger, and maybe even put the term align in white and have like white going against black. That could be kind of cool. See if I can get that to work. Okay, white. There we go. Or maybe the pink. So something like this. And we can always repeat elements, so maybe I'll do alignment. Well, let's leave it like this. Repetition will do repeating. So in each of these examples, I'm not trying to get overly complex. I'm trying to keep it real. The idea is very simple. Simple and compact. Then repetition. Let's put that on its own layer. Well, it's already on its own layer. So I'm just going to hold down my Alt key and sort of stagger it. Repeat it. And bring that down. Point size, and maybe hold the Alt key again. Let's see, grab it. Okay, apply. There we go. Now I think what I'm going to do is lower the opacity of all of those at one time, kind of like this, and play with sort of an inverse. Maybe something like this, repetition, sort of kind of create depth. So there's my little unit. Now maybe I'll play that up in scale. So we have all these possibilities. Now I could take each of these little designs and do like a whole group of variation with each one. Now, let's make sure we understand how to put this on our WordPress site. So what I like to do is make sure we go to Save As, and make sure we save it as a PSD at first, so we have a copy that's all in layers as a Photoshop document, and go to Save. So I'm going to save that, put that on your flash drive ideally, and then from there, in order to put this on the web, right now we're at 24 megabytes at 300 pixels per inch. I want to bring it down to 72. So it's going to go from 24 megabytes. See up here where there's image size? I'm going to bring it down to 1.39. Click OK. And then from there, go to Export, Save for Web. So I should have a JPEG. Let's see. Yeah, we've got a JPEG. So now I'm going to go to my WordPress site. I already have it opened up. Go to the little pencil tool. So we're going to make a new post, and then go to Add Media. So now I've got to upload my media. Click on Upload Files, select Files, and then go to my desktop. I've got all sorts of stuff here that I'm working on, and there we are. And we'll just call that thumbnails. Thumbnails for design terms. Something like that. Then it's inserted. Thumbnails for design terms. Go to publish. All right, so I hope this little tutorial helped you in some way, even if it wasn't in a big way. And let's see, we will go to my site, and then go to View Site. There it is. I can click on it.